And so we're here. We just wanted to come on. Matty, the chef, and I wanted to come on and talk briefly about the music. Specifically, we wanted to talk about the Afrobeat song "Bring It Down," and what inspired the music and what in the world I'm saying in the bridge section of the song, if you've heard it. So, you want to start?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to cue it up right now, okay? All right. Everybody knows it, such a hot intro, but that's not what we're here to listen to. Let's keep fine. Let's keep going. Here we go. So, what are you saying at that part of the record? Let me just give y'all a little small introduction into that record. We did that record. We started the record effort when? When was that?
It was like maybe 2015.
Right.
I don't know. There was
talk about it for a little bit.
An Ebola outbreak in West Africa, and some of my friends reached out to me and commissioned me to write a song that would encourage people to donate to the efforts to end the crisis that was happening in Liberia, specifically or mainly in I said West Africa, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea. So that was, I wanted something that was upbeat, that was like an anthem that would motivate people and inspire people to take action, but that would also have a universal appeal as far as addressing many issues that plague African nations. So this was one. And so that's kind of the inspiration behind the song, behind Bring It Down.
Right. And so, okay. So a lot of the music, part of this album, U.N.I, we wanted to bridge these, this Pan-African bridge, I guess, from the Congolese side to the to Deja Belle's African American side, to then also my side, and it's just a bunch of just melanin popping, in the form of audio, and things like that. And so, what I said was, I was like, listen, we need to have something like add some Lingala elements to it, and Deja. I think that it might not have gone over, well right away. But at the same token, I think that she thought about it for a little bit, rolled around and said, you know what, that's an awesome idea to just tie in these two, this influence of this Lingala that she heard in her house in Montgomery County, Silver Spring, Maryland. And then also, just the Black American side and things like that. And so, tell them just like a little bit about, the Congo, a little bit about, again, speaking Lingala, and, what was your inspiration behind what you're saying? What are you saying? Take us word by word, and just take us word by word.
Okay. So yeah, that's, my native tongue. So I grew up speaking that with, my parents, Lingala mainly, more than even French in the household. So, hello. We're going to wave here. Hey, how's it going, John? So yes, I grew up speaking Lingala at home, and I grew up also listening to Congolese music, the music that my parents grew up on, which was rumba, and then the music that like was the 90s music that literally, if you're African and you don't know Kofi Olomide, like everybody all over the continent grew up on soukous, and it was very, very influential. So when I decided to take Matty's genius advice, as always, finally, and be like, okay, when I wrote it, I was thinking of that soukous kind of call and response, the harmonies, the tone. So I really tried to emulate that. That was really my inspiration behind it. But what it's saying is, Nani aide bango is, who's going to help these people? Biso na biso means, it's really like saying us and us, but it translates to us. So it's really on us to, to serve and to help people who are in need all over the world.
Word.
And so I say that a couple of Nani akoede bango, biso na biso, us and us, I and I. Tango mama zo lela. That's when mama's crying and the children are dying. She doesn't have the emotional strength to help her babies, or she's helpless. Who is going to be able to help her?
Wow.
And it goes back to I and I. It's on us to help people if we're in that position to do so. So that's basically what the song is about, and it kind of echoes what the chorus says in English anyways, which is, when you hear the call, don't just sit around, got to get up to bring it down, bring down the epidemic, bring down everything that's going on, as far as just the disproportionate rates of those negative things that are going on. Specifically at that time, it was the Ebola crisis. So yeah,
specifically at that time. But it just made me think about the fact that we just recently watched this documentary called "This Is Congo" on either Netflix or
closer, so Facebook.
Excuse me.
People
hey, Facebook. So we just recently watched this documentary called "This Is Congo," and it was talking a lot about some of the rebel conflicts and things like that are going on the eastern side, like Kivu and I don't know all the places over there. But bottom line is, that's another thing too. Is that there's all of these things that's happening. I mean, whether there's Ebola, whether there is malaria, whether there's some famine going on, and or whether there's a militia group, militia groups bothering innocent villagers, all of this stuff needs to be brought down, and essentially, kind of starting all over again. It reminds me of farming, and after things have grown, after they've reached their maturation period, there's been a harvest. All the things that die, they fall to the ground, and then they become, more enrichment for the soil, and potentially even, more seeds. So in all these places, that stuff just needs to come down, like you were just saying, with the, with temperatures and all that. There's a bunch of play on words. It's a little, little wordsmith, but, all of that stuff just needs to, it just needs to come down, and I think that, we should always try to see how we can do more than, talk about it, or just being some sort of, fleeting thing that we're watching on Instagram and things like that. Like, oh, shoot, that happened. Oh, oh, shoot, this happened. I think that with all of the, media that we're constantly exposed to, right, that we end up just saying, 20 people died from a militia, next page. 30 people died, okay, next page. There was a bombing, okay, next page. Ebola crisis where, 1,200 people died, okay, next thing. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And we don't take the time to say, these are actual people's lives, and that, what can we potentially do to it than just let it be another, tick on the timeline, and things like that. And so that's what we kind of, wanted to do, was cement, one, the Ebola crisis, but also a lot of things that are happening, in Africa, but not only in Africa, also, even here at home. There's a lot of stuff happening here in in the States that must be brought down, you know, and we really wanted this song, you know, it's set on a what's called a 4 to the floor, you know, 1, 2, you know, it's a nice little driving beat, so that it's, you know, it's danceable, but it also is able to deliver, you know, a really empowering message, right? Yeah. You know, so yeah. I mean, that's all I personally wanted to talk about, you know, on this thing right now. This is really short, but you know.
Wait, I just realized, okay, and it's my song, and I did write it, but it's Tango mamazo bela. Okay, so that's when mommy is bela. It means to be. She's sick, basically. So it's when she's sick and the children are Tango mamazo bela bana kufa. Yeah, so it's like just basically saying, mommy's sick, the children are dying, like who is going to help out this helpless group of people, this family? So I just that just came back to me.
Awesome.
Anyway. So yeah, that's it. That's all we wanted to come on here and share for now. We have some other I guess insights from the music on the album that we will continue to share with you, just about the creative process, things that we want to highlight that we think that definitely creatively stretched us, and you know, that we think are really cool.
Right. Okay. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this little small view into Bring It Down. Okay. You can definitely find, if you don't have it right now, you can definitely find Bring It Down at
dejabelle.bandcamp.com.
Bet. Okay, and Bring It Down is on the album U.N.I. If I said that, okay, I don't remember, but it just came back to me. And also, we have a Bring It Down challenge, okay, where people are dancing to the music, and if you use that hashtag Bring It Down challenge, all one word, we'll see it. We check that hashtag all the time, and you know, again, we just want to get people engaged, and you know, you just show us some of your, like, you know, awesome, you know, dance moves. I'm not the biggest dancer. Deja, you know, she does a little bit of some. Little Salima, you know, is a avid dancer. She's dancing every single day. So, you know, I'd like to see how, you know, your interpretation of Bring It Down, okay? So until the next time, peace.
Bye.
Oh, you know what? Like, we finna, man, just rock out to something like, I'm gonna just let something play real quick.
Just rock out to Bring It Down.
You want to rock out and Bring It Down?
Sure.
Why you whispering? Let's get it. Rock out. A little bit.
All right, y'all.
Bring it down, it's getting hotter. Toll is rising, the stakes are high. Bring it down, fever, children are suffering in West Africa. An alarm is sounding.
Deja has these awkward moments, you know.
Awkward black girl.
Young awkward. Awkward black girl before awkward black girl was a thing.
Don't you sit around, gotta get up and